Hello, today I'll be talking about 10 bands that I just can't get into. With that said, if you are a fan of any of these bands or artists, more power to you. Definitely nothing wrong with that. It's just that for me personally, just can't get into any of these bands, and I will give my reasons in this video here. But these bands won't be in no particular order, but the first band I do want to talk about is a pretty big one, especially within the past 3 to 5 years or so, maybe longer. Especially this year, since that they had a new album recently, and that band is Sleep Token. And I did check out a few songs from the latest album, and yeah, not for me. So they are one of those bands that likes to mix genres, blend genres, genre mashing, however you want to put it. And I'm all for mixing genres. There are bands I do like that do that well, in my opinion. Of course, bands like Faith No More, or 311, or Linkin Park, or POD, and of course many other bands. But Sleep Token, I'm just not a big fan of the way they mix genres. Another thing I don't like about them really is the vocals from Vessel. Sometimes, at least from the stuff that I've heard from them, it sounds like sometimes he sounds like he has marbles in his mouth when he sings, and he seems to be one of the. And again, from the stuff that I've heard, it sounds like he's one of those vocalists that likes to mess with like the pronunciations of words. I know I've seen other people mention that too, because I've seen some reviews of some Sleep Token reviews, specifically album reviews, like on YouTube, and I've seen some reviews where they're really trashing them. Because even when it's a band that I personally don't care for, I do get curious to hear about what other people think about them, and I did see some negative reviews of their most recent album, and they mentioned the pronunciation thing too. So I know it's not just me. But yeah, Sleep Token, yeah, not a big fan. But again, if you're a fan, more power to you. I definitely get why they're big. And I can see how they can be a good gateway band too. And how they can have some good crossover with some people too that might not be as big into metal. But again, for me, not a Sleep Token fan at all. Moving to the next band, and that band is Babymetal. Instantly couldn't stand them from the first time I heard them. Especially since the debut album if I remember correctly, that's the album that has that song Gimme Chocolate, which I think was the first song I heard from them. And I've heard a few other songs too from them. Definitely not for me. I mean, the riffs are okay. Nothing amazing to the point where I'll be like, oh man, the riffs are so good, it's going to save the song for me, or make me overlook the stuff I don't like, or anything like that. But really, the main thing that takes me out of their music really is the vocals. Once I hear the vocals, it just instantly just grates on my ears. But hey, if you like them, more power to you. But for me, can't stand Babymetal. And maybe I'm not the target audience, if there is a specific target audience. I know there's some people that say, oh, no, they don't. They have a diverse audience and all that. I remember encountering one of those type of fans, online. I remember encountering one of those type of fans once on YouTube, but that was a while ago. But either way, not a fan of Babymetal. The next band is Five Finger Death Punch. And yeah, they're still big to this day. And they definitely have their share of defenders, and for me, I can't stand them. Now, do they have a few songs that are decent? Sure. I do like The Way of the Fist, and I like Ashes. Even Under and Over It, even if it has some dumb lyrics, or dumb lines, however you want to put it, I still think that song is kind of enjoyable. Maybe a guilty pleasure, but outside of that, I think this band's pretty terrible. Of course, you have the whole tough guy act going on, especially with a person like Ivan Moody. And sadly, I had the unfortunate thing of having to see them live through watching them open for Metallica. Maybe the worst band I've seen live, and the people singing along to their stuff around me made the experience even worse. But for me, I was on the floor, and I was in a really great spot. I was right on the rail by the entryway, and it was a really great spot. So it was kind of like, I just got to tough it out and just get through this. And Ivan Moody is another reason why I don't like this band. Sometimes vocally he sounds all right, but at the end of the day, as a vocalist, it's just overall just not really my thing at all. But yeah, Five Finger Death Punch, yeah, definitely not a fan. I think the hate is deserved, but again, If you like them, good for you, but for me, I don't like them, and I don't have to either. And the next band we'll be moving to is Sabaton. So I guess their whole gimmick, you can maybe say, is they like to talk about war. And I have seen them live. I saw them open for Judas Priest. Of course, I was there for Judas Priest. And I just find their music to be really hokey, a bit too hokey for me. I mean, I can see how they can have some appeal for some people, but for me, definitely, again, a bit too hokey for me. That's really all it comes down to for this band. So yeah, not much to say about Sabaton. Just a bit too hokey for me. Next band, we got Mushroomhead. They have a few decent tracks. I like Before I Die, if I got the title right. That song, Solitaire Unraveling, I think is all right. And Sun Doesn't Rise, I like that song too. But that's about it for me with Mushroomhead. The other stuff, a lot of the other stuff I've heard from them, I think is honestly kind of terrible. And I've seen some people mention some Faith No More comparisons with this band, and I can definitely hear it with some of the stuff I've heard from them. And I'm sorry, no one can be like Faith No More. I mean, Faith No More is one of my favorite bands probably ever. Pretty solid discography too. I mean, Angel Dust is one of my favorite albums of all time, but yeah, Mushroomhead, definitely not a fan. There's definitely a reason why Slipknot was obviously the bigger band. I mean, they obviously have more talented musicians, especially when you got members like Corey Taylor or Sean Cran or Jim Root, and of course, all the other ones, Sid, of course. But yeah, Mushroomhead, definitely not a fan at all. Another reason is also sometimes the clean vocals. Sometimes I don't. The clean vocals in this band is another thing that kind of turns me off from them, because sometimes don't mind it, but other times I think, wow, these clean vocals or singing kind of bad. But again, just my opinion, but not a fan of Mushroomhead. Moving to the next band, we have Green Day. Now, my negative thoughts on these guys do go beyond just the music too. I have seen some of of course I've seen articles and whatever about some things that Billy Joe Armstrong, if I got his name right, some of the political things that he says or changing lyrics and stuff like that. And he's another reason why I don't like this band. Well, mainly because, I'll just say that his politics or his political views, however you want to put it, his is very different from mine. And now, sure, I can set aside that type of stuff sometimes, but from stuff that I've seen, it's kind of hard to ignore it. So, but it's not just that stuff too. Even the music too, I'm not a big fan of. And also, his vocals kind of sound the same in almost every song. I'm not going to say every single song, but almost every. At least with the stuff that I've heard. I'm also just not too big on his voice either. Don't want to be an American idiot. Do you have the time? Yeah, I was like, not a fan of his vocals. I mean, When I Come Around, I think is an okay song. There might be one or two other ones that I think are okay, but overall, never could get into Green Day. And I find like a lot of their stuff, especially the early stuff in the 90s, a lot of their stuff really kind of blends together, starts to sound the same real quick. But yeah, never could get into Green Day. And I've tried. I know years ago I tried to get into these guys. I've tried multiple times to get into them, but it's like, I just can't do it. And then moving to the next band, we got Coldplay. I find their music insanely generic and honestly kind of dull. There's just nothing about their music that really moves me or gives much of an impression out of me besides, oh gosh, turn it off. And maybe it probably doesn't help that I've heard some of their songs just way too many times to the point where I was like, all right, I've had enough. Please play something else. Never could get into Coldplay. A bit too generic or flat for me. But I know they do have their fans though. Some people might have some nostalgia for them. However you want to put it, but for me, never could get into Coldplay. Moving to the next band, we have Simple Plan. Now, I might as well go ahead and dive into my thoughts or where I fall when it comes to my general thoughts on pop punk. I like some of it. I mean, with pop punk, some common criticisms are it's maybe a bit too whiny, or maybe it's the angsty lyrics, or the whininess, or the nasally vocals with some of the bands, of course. But I feel like with Simple Plan, they take the melodrama or the teen angst. They push that even further than some of the other pop punk bands I've heard. I mean, if you thought bands like Blink 182 or Good Charlotte or Sum 41 are too whiny or too immature, whatever, however you want to put it, wait till you hear Simple Plan, man. I mean, I find their music maybe sounding maybe a bit too childish for my liking, or too whiny. And another thing that doesn't help with this band for me is the nasally vocals. Now, I do like Blink 182. I can see people making the nasally vocal criticism on them, especially, of course, obviously Tom DeLonge, because I get the whole people not liking his more nasally voice, but I feel like the nasally vocals are even worse with Simple Plan, and especially with them, I just find them being maybe a bit more whiny than even Blink. But yeah, Simple Plan, never could get into them. I think Addicted is an alright song, but that's about it for me. Moving to the next band, moving to something a bit heavier, we have Knock Loose. And somehow these guys got onto Jimmy Kimmel. But hey, good for them. I mean, this could be another band that maybe could be a decent, however you want to put it, gateway band. Forgive me. Knock Loose. I mean, I used to have a coworker that was a big fan of this band. No longer one of my coworkers anymore, but I remember him being a big fan of this band. And for me, I just can't stand them. And the big reason really is the vocals. I mean, once the vocals come in, I'm instantly turned off immediately. I mean, I have no issue with harsher vocals. I do like heavier music, of course. I mean, I do like a little bit of death metal, a little bit of metal death. And of course I do like thrash, obviously. And of course metalcore and all that. But with Knock Loose, I just can't stand the vocals. Nails on a chalkboard for me, but yeah. Never could get into Knock Loose. Moving to the final band here, we have Alestorm. Pretty similar to my thoughts on Sabaton. They're just not for me. A bit too hokey, a bit too corny for me. I mean, their whole gimmick is the whole pirate thing. Personally, I'm just not into that gimmick at all. But I can understand the appeal somewhat, but for me, can't get into them. But yeah, those are 10 bands I just can't get into. Again, if you like any of these bands, more power to you. Definitely nothing wrong with that, but these are some bands for me. I'm just like, no. I'm immediately changing the station, but that's all right. We're not gonna all like the same thing, but yeah, those are 10 bands right there. Let me know your thoughts on these bands in the comment section below. Let me know of any bands you can't stand or can't get into and all that good stuff. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and like, subscribe. Have a nice day and take care.